Hey everybody, Greg Barley here from Wealth Builder. This video is about my current options trading strategy, and this has evolved over time and it's going to continue to evolve. If you have any specific questions or comments, feel free to ask below this video, or if you're in the Facebook group, you can obviously ask questions in there and I'll do my best to answer. But I really want to walk through what I've done in the past and what I've changed and kind of what I'm doing now. So I'm going to jump over to my presentation that I put together to kind of keep me on track. This video is going to be a little long, so I'm going to talk a little bit faster to try and get it through it quicker so you guys aren't super bored. Hopefully you're not. So my current options trading strategy.
Strategery.
What I used to do. So in 2018, 2019, when I was really getting going with options trading, I'd only receive a few trades a month. So I was pretty much only trading recommendations that I got from a program that I was in or a couple programs I was in. And I wouldn't get very many trade recommendations. And so I got really impatient, as many of you are watching this video, and I wanted to grow my wealth faster, wanted to grow it now. So I put a lot of money into those very few trades that I would receive, and I just kind of let them ride. And in 2019, that worked out okay a lot of times because the markets were fairly stable, and you know, we kind of had some predictability to a certain extent. And you'd either win big or you'd lose big with those trades. And a lot of times in 2019, I won big. I did have a few where I lost big, but it didn't offset the winners that I had. So that worked out well last year, but then coming into this year, obviously it's been different, which is the understatement of the century. COVID came along and then the markets crashed in March. There's been lots of volatility. Every little bit of virus news seems to affect what's going on to the nth degree. It's exponentially more than it should be in my mind, but I you know, it's not up to me. So, but there's been lots of volatility. So every little bit of news makes the markets go crazy one way or another. I think even some of the expert option traders have really been struggling as of late, and it's really not, I don't think it's their fault. I don't think they're not smart. I don't think it's they're trying to pick, you know, losers or whatnot. It's just they're having a hard time pinning down exactly what's going to happen because the market is so up and down. So in May of this year, I really got in trouble because I was still using my old strategy from last year of kind of go big or go home. And I took very few trades in May and into June and put a lot of money into those and lost, you know, quite a bit more than I would have liked. So I really need to reevaluate what I was doing. So what have I changed? Two things that I've really adjusted the past month or so and moving forward. So new year, new strategy, two things. So the first thing, if my slide will go, is I really learned to limit my losses and sometimes my profit too, and we'll get to that in a second. So I've really put into place rules to make sure that I'm not taking a big loss on any trade. So my current loss rules on any trade that I take is if it's an option trade, I close the contract if it goes down 20%, if the expiration is more than a month out. So basically I'm leaving a little bit more room for a contract that's more than a month out to recover if it goes down. But if it goes down more than 20%, I'm closing it, taking the loss. Which is painful. A lot of times what people want to do and what I would do in the past is if it goes down, you're thinking, oh, maybe it'll recover. I've got some time. You know, I think it's going to come back up. I think it's going to come back up. And you end up chasing these things and just hoping. And you really, that's what gets you in trouble. That's what gets you to those 80 to 100% losses is if you just hope it comes back up. And a lot of times that's not going to happen. So you need to set in place rules where you just cut bait and go, as they say. So the second one here is I close the option contract at a 15% loss if the expiration is under 30 days. So if it's a closer contract, if it goes down 15%, I just close it, move on to the next one. If I can't watch my trades, I will put in place a rule to take profit. And I've got this set pretty low. Some people may set this up to 50% or even higher. With the market volatility right now, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. So if I can't watch my trades, I close a contract out if it goes up by 25%. Because, hey, 25% profit is not bad. And if you compound that over time, that can grow very, very quickly. The market's not going to go up 25% this year. I think it went up 26% all of last year, and that was, over the course of a year, and that was in a really good year. So I'm going to take 25% gain all day long on any trade that I take if I can get it. So if I can't watch the trade, I will close it out at 25% gain. I'll set a rule in place to automatically do that for me. If I'm hanging out at the cottage and just can't keep an eye on things, I don't want it to go up and then all of a sudden crash back down the next day or the 2 hours later and have it hit my 20% loss rule and then close it out of the loss. So second part here, I will cancel or reset the rule when I'm able to monitor the trade. So if I'm able to keep an eye on my trades, I will, if it goes up 25%, I'm going to have my finger on the trigger, so to speak, but I'll watch it and just kind of see. And a lot of times at that point, I'll look for news. If there's major news about the company involved in the trade, I may let it go a little bit longer to see if it goes up to 50 or even 100%. So that's the first thing. The second part of my strategy is that I've stopped putting all my eggs in one basket, the old cliche, where before I would have very few trades and I'd put a lot of money into those very few trades. So now I'm taking a lot more trades, but I'm doing smaller amounts in each trade. So really I'm just spreading out the risk. So a lot of these gurus that we get our trade recommendations for, like I said, are struggling. Many of them are. So I'm just trying to spread it out. And that's really helped me a lot, where I'm not taking any singular big losses. If I have losses, they're pretty minor. So the upside of this strategy is I have a greater chance of hitting winners if I've got more trades taken out. I also get psychological wins because if I get, in TradeStation you see green and red for your winners and your losers. If I see red in TradeStation, last year I might have seen red negative $800, where this year it's negative $80 for a loser. So it's much more palatable. It's a little bit of a psychological win, so to speak, where I can just close out the losers now and they just don't seem that big. And so that really helps out as well. And the slow and steady wins the race type of mentality, where we love those big winners where you want to put in $1,000 and make $2,000. But the truth is, with the markets the way they are right now, I can't expect that. And so I've really been trying to take more trades and with lower dollar amounts to try and just grow things at a more even pace. So the downside of this taking more trades is there's more time spent entering trades. And some people don't have this time, and I totally understand that. It does take a little bit more work, a little bit more monitoring to get into the trades at the right price, and you're doing this more often. I'm fortunate enough where I'm home every day, so I can do this. And then again, more time spent monitoring trades. Obviously, you can set your stop loss and your profit, call it profit grab rules in place to do this automatically, but a lot of times I like to monitor my trades. You can also trigger something called a pattern day trader limit, and every platform's a little bit different with this. I know with TradeStation, you have to be careful. If you place more than 3 trades where you enter and exit them the same day, if you place more than 3 in a 5-day period, you'll get your account kind of throttled back a little bit for a while, because they want to make sure that you are not what they call a pattern day trader. And I'm not going to go into the weeds with this, but if that happens and you want to take a lot more trades, then you need to keep, with TradeStation, you need to keep a minimum of $25,000 in your account, which for a lot of people is just not possible, or you're not at that level, and I understand that. But even doing 2 trades a week instead of 1 every other week can help you out. It doesn't have to be 4 trades a day or something like that. When I talk about taking more trades, it's adding basically more than what you're doing before to try and spread this out a little bit. But you do have to be careful you take too many, because you'll get flagged with this pattern day trader, and then you've got to add more into your account balance. Pre-clearance, or I think in some brokerage firms even level 2, and you have margin on your account, that's where you're running into this pattern day trader limit, where you can only place 3 trades in a 5-day span. The way to get around this is to drop back to a cash-only account, so you don't have the ability to borrow on margin. You're only trading with the available cash that you have in your account, and you can take out as many trades as you want. Now, in something like TradeStation, that means you have to drop back to a level 2. So the downside of this is that you won't be taking out any spreads. So if you're in a program that issues a lot of spread trades, things like that, then you won't be able to do them without having that level 3 clearance. But I've pretty much shifted my focus to calls and puts for the most part. A lot of the programs I'm in now that I'm explaining in this video are simple calls and puts, and I can do as many of those as I want in my cash only account, which is going to be key for me moving forward in order to take out a lot more trades. I do have over 25K in my Schwab account, but my TradeStation account I don't, so I'm going to drop that one back to cash only and place more trades and see if I can grow that back up. And then once I have enough in there, I'll just reapply for level 3 clearance, and you can do the same thing. So anyway, just wanted to jump in here and explain that real quick, that you can get around that limit. You just have to drop back to a cash only a brokerage account. So talk to your broker about that. Don't take my word for exactly how you have to do that. Every brokerage platform is different. Just call them up. That's what I did with TradeStation and with my Schwab rep. I just talked to them about what I needed to do, and they explained it to me. So I'll let you get back to my video. Bye. So how am I getting enough trades? This is the big one. Last year I was only involved in one program, which was Tom Gentile's Fast Fortune Club. We'd only get 2 to 4 trades a month. I'm still in Tom's program. I still think it's one of the best values out there. But again, those of you that are only in that program can get frustrated, which I did last year. I didn't think I was getting enough trades. So currently I'm in 5 different programs, which is too many, to be quite honest. So I'm in a lot of different programs, so I'm getting trades. I get more trades than I can take. Let's put it that way. I'm learning constantly as well. All of these programs have training. Some of it's overlapping, some of it's very basic, but all of them will have little golden nuggets and things you can take away. So I encourage you, any program you enter, to go through their training. Go over to Investopedia.com is a great website. They have some options training you can take. There's lots of places, but I can encourage you to continually learn. And I'm starting to make some small trades on my own, and that's just because I'm confident doing that. I don't expect a lot of beginners to be able to do this right off the bat. I certainly didn't do it for almost 2 years, to be quite honest. So I'm starting to do some small trades on my own as well. So big question you guys want to know is, what programs am I getting these trades from? So I'll share with you 4 that I'm getting trades from. 3 of them are purely options, and 1 of them is actually stocks, and we'll talk about that in a second. So the first one is the one I've been in the longest, which is Fast Fortune Club. Again, 2 to 4 trades a month. There's a mix of calls, puts, and spreads, which is a problem, especially lately, because there have been more spreads than normal because of market volatility. Tom's trying to limit risk, and so he's had more spreads. The problem with spreads is you need level 3 clearance in order to execute a spread. And a lot of you watching this, especially if you're a beginner, you only have level 1 option clearance. So you can only do calls and puts. So if you're only getting 2 trades a month and one of them is a spread, then you're only getting 1 trade a month that you can actually do, which is a little bit frustrating. But again, for the cost of this, for $39 a year, I still think it's a tremendous value. I think it's the best value out there, especially with his live Monday calls that you can attend. He has some great knowledge in there. And then there's some other things available that he has as far as training that I think are well worth the price. My win rate, so these are my personal win rates. I actually looked up the numbers. My win rate was 70% until February, the end of February of this year. And then my win rate with Tom went down significantly. It's starting to creep back up a little bit. There were some 3 trades sent out the other day. I didn't get into any of them because I was out. I just flat out didn't have time to come back and enter those. Plus I was in too many trades to begin with. So I'm not including those. Second program is Project 303 with Andrew Keen. This is actually my favorite one. This is a newer one. I've only been in this a couple months. And I will provide a link for you guys to this below the video if you want to check it out. I'll have a review on my website and more information. But with Project 303, we get 2 trades per week. Or if and that's for the basic membership. I purchased a lifetime membership, and you get 3 trades per week, which is kind of nice. And they're all calls and puts. So you level 1 people, this is a great program because there are no spreads. So you can enter all of these if you want to. My win rate the past 2 months with this program has been 76%, which I'm going to take all day long. So it's been pretty good. I've been pretty happy with it. And I encourage you to check out Project 303. He does also live calls I think he does them 4 days a week. But for Project 303 basic members, you get to attend 2 of them. He goes fast. They're half hour. They're 9 a.m. Eastern time every day, or 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week if you're a lifetime member. He does go fast. He talks over your head a little bit if you're a beginner, but it's good information, and you can get to kind of see inside of his brain and what he's looking at. The third one here is Bullseye Trades from Jeff Bishop. Now, this one, I'm going to do a review of this on the website as well. This isn't my favorite program for beginners. Let me put it that way. You get 1 trade per week. It's an option trade. They're all calls or puts. And my win rate the past 2 months has been 60%, which is a little bit lower. I'd like that to be higher. But I've also not gotten into every trade that he sent out. Now, the downside of the Bullseye Trades is that Jeff gives you a general idea of where he's looking to get in, but it's not very specific. He doesn't give you a set, bid no more than price. So you really have to do some research and discernment and kind of decide on your own, or have that knowledge of when to get into these trades and when not to. So I don't recommend Bullseye Trades for beginners. If you're a little bit more advanced and you want another trade every week, he generally has a pretty good win rate. I messed up a couple. The reason I'm at 60%, 2 of those 2 trades I took, most people, including Jeff, actually made money, but I got in at the wrong price and got out at the wrong time, and I just messed it up. So I'm just telling you what my win rate has been. I think the program win rate's actually higher than 60%. So number 4 is Fast 5 Trades with Kyle Dennis. I really like this one too. This is a stock trade. It's not options. So this one's a little bit different, but I kind of like to mix this in. That B there, mix of calls, puts, and spreads, that's an error. That shouldn't be there because these aren't options. So he sends out, and it's a little misnomer. It's not 5 trades. It's 1 trade a week, and he holds it generally for 5 days, sometimes less. We had one a couple weeks ago where we held for like 3 hours. And it went up so far that we just cashed out, which was kind of fun. It's always fun when you can do that. So my win rate the past 3 months has been 90%. I've had a very high win rate with his picks, but again, these are pure stocks, but he doesn't pick like Tesla or Apple or Amazon or something crazy expensive. These are all lower price stocks, so you can get in for lower dollar amounts. And again, you just pick how many shares you want to purchase, depending on your budget. The last one here, I have to call Program X right now. This is a new one that I'm in. This one, I'm working on getting access for those of you that are interested. You're going to have to message me for now. I can't post this in the group. I don't even know if I can get you access yet if you message me, but I'll follow up with everybody, especially in my Facebook group. But in this program, you get 2 to 5 trades per day, plus generally 1 stock trade per day. We've had 1 day where we only got 1 trade, but this is a lot more than most programs. This is also a very expensive program. I'm not gonna, shy away from telling you guys that. This isn't a beginner program by any means. It's all calls and puts though. It's very fast paced. Most of our exits are in hours. This is where you're going to run into a pattern day trader issue. If you try and execute all these trades, you can't do it. They're going to make sure that you have $25,000 minimum in your account. So if you can't meet that requirement, then I wouldn't recommend even getting into this program. The win rate's been 85%. So 85% on 2 to 5 trades a day. You can figure that out, that you can do pretty well with this. Hopefully that win rate continues. I will let you know. But again, this is a very new program. I got access to it, and I'm still researching it, testing it out. So what's next? I'm continually using and testing this strategy, setting my hard stops, trying to limit my losses, and then also not putting all my eggs in one basket, just trying to take more trades with smaller amounts. So that's really what this is all about. I might try and create a case study of my results. I always hesitate to do that because, I don't track trades and publish the results publicly. And the main reason I do that is that you and I can get into the same exact option trade and have very different results. The reason being is that I may enter at a higher or lower price, or I may enter on a different day. I may exit at a different amount. There's just so many variables as far as when people get into and out of trades that you can have very different results on the same exact trade. I talked about how in the Bullseye Trades program, I've had a couple trades where I actually lost money and everybody else in the program gained money. They had a winner, but I messed it up because I got in too expensive and then I didn't get out quick enough and blah, 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 so I tend to not share results because people are like, well, that didn't happen to me. I lost money. How'd you do that? This is, it just frustrates people. So, but I might try and create a case study by taking some of the numbers out and just sharing maybe percentage wins or losses. If that would be interesting to you guys, let me know in the comments below, or send me a message if you have any questions. Let me know, but this is my strategy for now, and until this changes, I hope you guys gain some knowledge from this, maybe some insight, maybe some ideas. My goal is for you guys to take this strategy, adapt it for what works best for you, and make it even better. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.